Check, check, check. The first time I ever tried to build a fire, I did everything wrong. I stacked the logs too big, I didn't use enough kindling, and then I got impatient and I just started throwing everything I could find into the flames. Twigs, leaves, even a little gasoline at one point, and it burned hot for a second, then it died just as fast. So it turns out building a fire takes patience. You have to start small, let it catch, feed it the right way, and contentment, it works the same way. It's not something that just happens when you hit a certain number or reach a goal. It's a skill, one you have to build over time. So today we're talking about the joy of enough, why learning to build steady, lasting contentment is the key to real wealth. So let's get into it. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Matt Dawkins, and this channel is a little different. We're not just talking about contentment, we're writing a book about it. Right here, episode by episode. It's called The Happy Thousandaire, where contentment is the shortcut to true wealth. And instead of disappearing for a year and coming back with a finished book, I'm inviting you into the process. So your insights, your stories, your wisdom could end up in the final version. And if you missed last week's episode where I introduced The Happy Thousandaire, you can check it out right here. And if this conversation is something you need in your life, hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing. All right, let's dive into today's big idea, the joy of enough. Better a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil. Proverbs 15:16. This is the hardest lesson of all. I have screwed this one up so many times, and to be honest, I'm still working on it. Contentment isn't natural. It's a discipline, a skill, something that has to be trained and practiced over and over. I used to think contentment was just a mindset shift, something that would magically click once I had enough in the bank or once I built a business that ran without me. But I've learned the hard way that wanting more doesn't just sit quietly in your mind. It whispers, justifies, and convinces you that it's completely rational to keep chasing. We wrap discontentment in noble language. If I had just a little more, I could provide more for my family. I'm not being greedy. I just want to create security for the future. I'm not materialistic. I just want to be in a better position to give. It sounds responsible. It sounds wise. But here's the problem. More is a moving target. You think it's just another $10,000, another deal, another investment, another step up the ladder. But when you get there, the finish line moves. There's always another level, another comparison, another just a little more. Think about it. How often do we let the pursuit of more rob us of the joy of what's already in front of us? The house we once prayed for becomes a stepping stone to the next one. The job that once felt like a dream now feels like a disappointment compared to what's out there. Even the people in our lives, our family, our team, our friends, can get lost in the shuffle while we chase something bigger, better, newer. That's what this verse is warning us about. It's not saying wealth is bad. It's saying that if we're not careful, the pursuit of wealth will cost us something far more valuable: peace. Because here's the truth. If contentment isn't in you now, it won't magically appear when you reach your next financial milestone. If you don't know how to be grateful, present, and fulfilled at this level, you won't be at the next one either. Contentment isn't about lowering your ambition or quitting the game. It's about shifting your focus. So instead of asking, what's missing? Ask, what have I already been blessed with that I'm failing to appreciate? This isn't just about gratitude. It's about training yourself to recognize enough. For me, that looks like sitting at the dinner table and actually hearing my kids' laughter instead of mentally running through everything that didn't go right that day. Thanking God for the simple, steady work I've been given instead of resenting that I'm not further along. Seeing my financial wins as tools to create freedom and impact, not as my personal scoreboard. It's hard, and I don't always get it right. But every time I choose to see enough, I feel the weight of not enough lift just a little. So let's be clear, contentment is not about giving up. It's not about lowering your standards, shutting down your ambition, or refusing to dream. It's about anchoring yourself. It's about refusing to let your joy, peace, and purpose be dictated by what you achieve or acquire. It's about understanding that real wealth isn't about dollars. It's about designing a life that isn't held hostage by them. So here's the challenge. Take a moment today to pause. Really pause. Ask yourself, what have I been chasing that's keeping me from appreciating what I already have? The answer might not come easy, but I promise you, it'll be worth it. So this is one of those lessons I wish I had learned sooner. I don't know about you, but I've spent years thinking that more was the answer. More money, more success, more security. But all it did was move the finish line. And I don't think I'm alone in this. In fact, this week's comment of the week really hit home. Shout out to @BrahmaBullSmoke. He said this. He said, "Man, I missed your videos. It does never seem to be enough. When you achieve the next milestone, it just never feels complete. I find myself saying life moves so fast and not much really matters. I don't know how to overcome that." And man, that's real. I think a lot of us feel that. Like, no matter what we accomplish, something still feels off. And that's why this conversation matters. Because if contentment isn't in you now, it won't just appear at your next milestone. So let's talk about it. Drop a comment below. Have you ever reached a goal and felt just as empty as before? And what's something you wish you had realized about contentment sooner? Listen, I want this to be more than just my story. So let's turn this into something real together. If this hit home for you, make sure you stick around, because next episode we're talking about the noise, the distractions, the pressure, the endless comparison that keeps us from being truly content. You know, most people don't struggle with contentment because they want too much. They struggle because they're surrounded by too much expectations, right? Too many opinions, too much pressure to do more, be more, have more. And if we don't learn how to clear out that noise, we'll spend the rest of our lives living on edge instead of living on mission. So if you're ready to cut through the chaos and get back to what really matters, hit like, hit subscribe, and let's figure this out together. I'll see you on the next one.